It is the Friday night. I've got Shaun O'Donnell, I've got Rob Gutmann, and I've got Andy Heaton. Andy is 40. We have the caterpillar cake here for you, all that sort of stuff, balloon, the full party, the full hit. But we're not going to dwell on Andy being 40. But happy birthday to your hand. Anyway, we're going to instead talk. We're going to talk about COVID. COVID the caterpillar. It is.
COVID the caterpillar. Yeah.
It is. It's there now for us, Rob. Now the manager said today it's only 3. It's still only 3 as far as he knows. Spurs haven't played for 14 days, not least because of these issues. The first question is, the first thing Shaun said when he sat down, he said, do you think it'll go ahead? So do you think it'll go ahead?
Yeah, I'm putting it at 70% in my own mind tomorrow. And I'm travelling down on Sunday morning, so I kind of want it to go. In fact, I was saying to my lads who are going with me, I said, but Dad, what if it gets cancelled? I said, we're still in fucking London, we're going to have a nice time. So my view is I'm sort of at the point where they cancel. I don't care. Well, I do care, because we've told them before, we don't like games in hand, so we want this to go ahead. But I've got sort of a mixture of sort of trepidation and, I don't know, the opposite of trepidation about this, because I thought we looked a bit leggy the other night, and we sure were entitled to be leggy. We played a lot of games with the same team. Jurgen's been keeping this team on the boil. And we came up against a team who are the opposite. And yet, they might also be in pre-season mode because they haven't played for 2 weeks. I mean, normally, it was us. We haven't played for 2 weeks, we're shite.
And also a number of them have had COVID.
Yeah, so
injuries.
Son's a doubt, I believe.
I think the first thing to say, Shaun, is it's just weird. The whole thing has got weird again. The games in hand thing, my games in hand thing is, I hate looking at the league table where you're cashing in points that you haven't earned yet. So in your head, you're going, actually, we're only one behind them, but you haven't got the points on the board. And that's what I don't. So if City play, I want us to play. And I want us just to keep playing. I don't want the fixture congestion later, but I don't want to be looking at the league table where you're 7 points behind, but you've got 2 games in hand. Because you're still 7 points behind.
That's it. I mean, we were saying before, weren't we? You bank them automatically, games in hand, you bank them, especially when how good Liverpool are, and that's what makes it so dangerous to even get in that situation where you're looking at games in hand and thinking, there's 3 points definitely there, because we know in this league they're not definitely there no matter who you're playing. I know Newcastle ended up being pretty easy, didn't it, last night? But at the same time, it's still like small margins, I think, between drawing a game and winning a game. Like we can play exactly how we played last night and draw that game. It just that's the Premier League that you're in. So
Chelsea do something very similar against Everton. It's a similar pattern of game, but when Chelsea go 1-0 up, Everton get one back and Chelsea can't find the way.
Exactly. That was hilarious. That, by the way.
Brilliant.
I mean, how funny is just the whole Rafa thing? I mean, I don't want to go off on the tangents. We could probably spend another half an hour talking about Rafa, but Jesus Christ, it's just unbelievable, isn't it?
With them, he's probably not got Fabinho, he's probably not got Van Dijk, he's probably not got Jones. I don't think Jones would have been there or thereabouts anyway for this one, Andy. But I think Konate plays really well, and I thought Matip was the business, and I thought Henderson does really well. But I thought we did actually just miss Van Dijk and Fabinho a little bit, not least because it means other players are able to, if you play Fabinho and Henderson, you've got Fabinho and Henderson. If you play just Henderson, you've only got Henderson.
Yeah, I think Fabinho more than any of them, because I think it sounds like Fabinho was a late admission, whereas the Van Dijk seems to be telegraphed a little bit that he wasn't going to play. And then you take one out, you can manage about the other, but when you take the 2 out, you've then got to reassess, and I think that's told early on. A couple of misplaced passes from Thiago, Henderson, it took him a bit to find the feet, it was a bit fraught, and then we saw it with the goal Newcastle score, Everton goes up in the air, but they got through it. I just what Rob was saying earlier again, where they looked a little bit leggy. I don't necessarily agree. I think they played within themselves. I think they showed they had the energy when they were 1-0 down, and they had the gears to motor through. And we just don't. I'm not entirely sure of the rules. I mean, I've been listening to managers all day, not knowing what the situation is. So if they don't know how the fuck
they don't know the rules. No, they don't know the rules.
In regards to Virgil and Fabinho, know whether you've automatically out for 10 days, or whether you can test, and as soon as you get a clear test, you can come back in. Or
is that possible?
Do you know? I don't.
I think what they'll have with them is that if the positive, I think my reading of it is the positive lateral flow and then the positive PCR. It will be a 10-day gap. Like it's for anyone else, it'll be 10 days of isolation. If it's people close to them though, and all the other players are just repeatedly coming back with negatives, they're absolutely fine. So it's not like if they've knocked around with someone.
Everyone else.
He explained it before, Anthony, that basically they turn up at the training grounds. They do a test. They don't get back in the cars. They don't get out of the cars until they've got a negative test. So I took his general point around. Well, if it's 3, it's probably more. But I can also see how that might just not be the case if it's you know, but you don't know, do you?
To get full access to this show, click on the link in the post and subscribe to Talk Premium. You get all of our content, including previews, reviews, post-match content, exclusive interviews and loads of transfer chats. So subscribe to the Anfield Wrap now. We share the journey of supporting Liverpool from heart of the city.